Hello everybody, welcome to Cape Rugby TV. It's Wednesday night, and of course we bring you the very best of Western Province Club Rugby in and around Cape Town. Of course, Cape Town and the fringe areas every night on, right here on Cape Town TV. Tonight on the show with me this evening, and it was fantastic to have some real VIPs here this evening. I'm in Brink for the first time on Cape Rugby TV from Collegians, of course, Chairman at Collegians. Hello, Amin.
Good evening, JP, and good evening to all the viewers, and good evening, Ish and Riaz. Yes, it's a long time overdue, JP.
It's lekker, man. Lekker to have you here.
Thanks, JP.
Right, that's about as far as my honoured guest goes. Then, Ishmael, Donny, nice to have you back.
Yeah, thanks. Good to be back. It's been a while. And looking forward to the show.
Lekker, and of course Riaz Khan from Violet. Hello Riaz, nice to have you back here.
Great being here between these two esteemed colleagues of mine, Super League B colleagues.
You're looking very fancy in your tie tonight.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Yeah, it's like it's a
you don't normally throw around compliments, but thanks.
No, I do. I know you get very excited when you get compliments, so we're going to give you lots tonight. Of course, coming up tonight as well, folks, it was the Western Province Under-16 and the Under-19 trials over at City Park last week. We managed to catch up with some of the guys there. I managed to get up to the West Coast, went to Atlantis last week, Thursday. The Minister of Sport, Fikile Mbalula, was out there, and he was handing out some kit and stuff. We're going to catch up with just a little bit of footage to show you some of the teams up in Atlantis, just a little bit of, give you a touch of what happens up there. Of course, Hamlets, Mamre and Atlantis, the guys play a lot of rugby up there, and they're big rugby fans. And then we'll take a look at what's happening in the 7th round of results that was over the weekend, and we'll talk to you about the fixtures coming up. Let's quickly take a look now at some of the footage from Atlantis.
Luister op meneer. Sterkte vandaag. Alright? Rugby, je moet hem genieten. Alright? Geniet elke oomblik. Maak maatjies. Als je niet voor hom ken nie, maak maatjies. Alright? Rugby is about the team sport, okay? Geniet vandaag. Meneer sien uit om weer te zien vandaag, nee? Alright? Zullen reg, wie gaan winnen? Alright, rugby gaan winnen, okay?
Yeah, I'm Franco Johannes. I'm at the Hamlets Rugby Club. We play in the Western Province Super League B, and we're currently 3rd on the log. I think today it's a great day to display some talent here, and a great initiative by the councillor, Councillor Abrams, which is a local councillor of this area, and a great opportunity for our youngsters to display their talent.
Lucky 3, man!
It's two clubs playing today. It's Atlantis Rugby Club against Mamre. Just to show the minister that we are doing sports here in Atlantis. The school's already played, so yeah, that's it.
Dit is een baie lekker game in. Ons het geniet.
Was alright, het was lekker hard. Gaan we altijd daar weer.
A fantastic occasion there, of course. The Department of Culture and Sport, together with Sport and Recreation South Africa, went out to Atlantis last week and donated a lot of kit to the guys from Hamlet and Mamre and Atlantis, not only for rugby but also for netball and football. So a nice initiative there, and good to see that DCAS is getting out there and supporting the kids and the growth of sport up in the Atlantis area. Ish, you've been up there a couple of times, eh?
Yeah, very nice place, very far, good to travel, but good to see one of my coaches, Eddie Jacobs, giving back to the community.
Well, you know what, it was fantastic listening to, although I don't think the minister knew, but he said to the kids in the hall, you know, you guys must all use your equipment and you must practice hard so that you can all become Springboks one day. and then someone in the crowd said, "But we've got a Springbok here already," and they didn't. AD Jacobs was there.
Yeah, and he spoke about it in the week, and he just said just the willingness for the kids to learn was awesome. And I mean, when you can tap into the experience of a Springbok legend, AD Jacobs, you've got to take that and run far.
Well, I must say, you know, I only got to meet AD because of either Hands and Hearts or because of you at Milnerton. And before that, I really didn't like him because he played for the Sharks and he wore that scrum cap, and I could never associate myself with him. And then, lo and behold, he comes down here, he gets involved with club rugby, and the greatest, the coolest guy. You're blessed to have him.
Absolutely. I mean, probably one of the most humblest guys I've known as a Springbok, probably to his detriment, because he's just very much down to earth and doesn't want to make a big fuss about him and just wants to give off the knowledge that he's learned.
No, that is really great. I mean, it's good to see guys that keep their head about them. You're in the media game as well. I mean, you know what it's like to have players who get too big for their boots and they forget the realities of life. But a guy like AD, he's still so grounded.
Yes, it's very encouraging to see that the guys go back into their communities, giving back to the youth. Especially you talk about AD. There's also Kevin Peasants, that is with Hamlets.
Yeah.
Also a guy that played provincial rugby, and he's currently very much involved coaching Hamlets.
Yeah.
So it's great to see guys coming back and giving back to the community. So these guys, we really salute these guys.
Yeah, just incidentally, you mentioned Gavin Passons, but folks, by the way, Hamlets is desperate for a sponsorship, as is all club rugby, but I know Gavin Passons out there, remember, it's a little bit further for them to drive out there, and they've got to tap into the resources and still are in the space of Western Province Rugby. So if you're out there and you're watching the show, Hamlets, as we all do, Cape Rugby TV and all the clubs out there, we all need sponsorship. But for the guys that are so far away, who can't visit the corporates every day or get into the marketplace, Hamlets out there, they are looking for a sponsorship. And it's a great rugby squad. So if you have an opportunity, if you're up on the West Coast right now and you're watching, put it that way, if you're up there, West Coast, Mamre, Langebaan area, and you want to support a local club, then go out there and check out Hamlets or Mamre or Atlantis and go and support them. Because I think it's quite often that the corporates here in the Cape Town area don't get up there. So if you have half a chance and you're in the West Coast area, support your local community. I think, Riaz, you've kind of, all three of you guys have actually perfected that model of working with local communities to support your clubs.
You have to. Just on Hamlets, just quickly before I touch on that. You see, with most clubs, you've got 7 away games in the Super League B. And of those 7 games, 3 or 4 are normally close to where your club is situated. But with Hamlets, each one of their 7 games is practically an away game as well. It's very, very far for them to travel for all of that 7 games. So I understand the problems they've got logistically to try and get those numbers on the buses, and it takes a lot of money. So, you know, if there are people out there who can assist them, I'm sure they'll be very, very grateful. But like you said, to touch on that as well, collegians with the Armin, they've got a logistical nightmare practically every weekend because they've got a primary school team, high school teams, they've got to travel, and the numbers that they've got, in the amount of teams they've got, that's a nightmare. We're lucky our junior structure is not as large as what theirs is, but I can just about imagine what they go through every single weekend trying to get their teams. Tell us a little bit about,
let me interrupt you, Riaz, and I want to come back to you, but tell us about the youth structures. We keep hearing about the collegians' youth structures,
Yes, I think it's just a legacy of collegians, you know, back in the days of District 6. And here we must commend, you know, the office bearers before us.
Yeah.
You know, the late Boa Rivdin,
yeah.
the late with the Armin, Hendricks. You know, these were the guys that gave their life into youth rugby. And we just continue with that legacy. These guys gave their whole life just to see that boys play rugby.
For the passion of rugby, the passion of the community.
And for me, I was fortunate. You know, I'm playing this game since a 5-year-old, you know, on the greens just above Warm Estate. I started my rugby with the late Boa Rivdin. So I think collegians is blessed to had that type of people involved that gave their all to youth rugby. Maybe
give us a quick reason, the history, collegians, how did it end up in Mitchell's Plain? The apartheid era, the group areas act, there's a whole story behind that. I know it's not going to do justice for me to ask you to answer that question in 30 seconds, but maybe for the viewers who've never heard the story. I think
I'll do my best. Collegians was actually established in 1975, 1976, way back in District 6. When the group areas kicked in, it was a merger between Rosendales, the then Rosendales, and Silvertree. the two clubs merged, and in Mitchell's Plain.
So Rosendale and Silvertree merged.
So established Collegians.
That was Collegians.
And the merger, I think, lasted just for a year. And but Collegians, the name, I should say the part of Rosendale.
From Kimberley.
From no, from District 6. Rosendale's, the most part of the Rosendale's fraternity kept on with the name Collegians. So Collegians was born out of a merger of Silvertree and Rosendale.
And you've still got a Silvertree players here in Western Province now.
Yes, Silvertree. I think most of the.
It's of course Ridar, Allen, and the guys.
Like Ridar, Allen, the Allen brothers. You know, there's
so
lots.
Is that a Derby Collegian
and you know,
Silvertree?
and you know the strange thing about this whole merger, we had a day of rugby.
No,
just a day of rugby with Silvertree, and you know, all their kids are playing for Collegians now.
Yeah.
And
so
I
how many kids have you got there?
You know, we've got plus minus 250. We've got 7 primary junior sides and 4 senior juniors which plays in the high school.
You've got a lot of kids that are coming and they're staying active.
As Riaz said, it's sometimes a logical nightmare if both teams plays away, because now you have 2 buses, and the cost it costs you roughly 6,000 rand to 5,000 rand per Saturday, just giving boys 4 hours of rugby, taking them out of Mitchell's Plain.
And I think it's transport. We kind of need a blanket transport sponsor. But the reason that I asked you about the Kimberley was because I went to an old tailor. Used to get my pants made either longer or shorter. I think in Reigate or
Rylands or Gatesville or something like that.
Yeah, in fact it was closer down to Gatesville.
Okay.
And I walked in there the one day, and I think I had a Cape Rugby TV top one or something like that, and he started telling me about the history of Collegians. Now, unfortunately, not everyone gives me the original story or the true story. I'd rather go listen to Buta Arminia. But he told me that for some other reason the name Collegians came from Kimberley, and I thought that was an interesting story, which is why I asked you. But I take your version first, okay? But that's why I was wondering if there was any connection with Kimberley, Collegians.
Not that I can recall, JP, but surely I will look into that.
All sorts of.
Yes, but I think it was stemmed out of the merger between Silvertree and Rosendale's.
So Elias Adams, one of your Collegians guys, was at the Western Province trials. He plays fly, of course, at Collegians. He was out at the under-16 and under-18 trials at City Park. You might enjoy this clip. Let's catch up with the trials now at City Park last week.
Western Province under 16 and under 18 trials, young talent coming through, definitely, and an awesome day here at City Park, you know. And I just browsed around. I promise you, we have some awesome talent in the union.
The selectors will have a tough job to select a squad of. They have to select 3 sides who's going to play against Boland, and then after the Boland game they have to select 2 sides, Cravenwick side and Academy side.
My name is Elias Adams. I think Portland 9. I play rugby for Collegians, RFC. Trials it's been okay, a bit tough because guys are a bit bigger than me, but that's okay.
So speel net die hands. Wat baat is ek kan almal step almal om hulle maar se lyn van so gaan niemand kies enigiets man. Ons speel om mekaar van mekaar.
8 teams today, so 4 games. The third game is currently taking place now. So it's been exciting. The guys are battling and fighting for places.
Well, it looks like the youth are getting active there. Ish, did you see a lot of collegiate oaks there in action, eh?
Yeah, we could say it's a collegiate show, but it's lovely to see that the amount of talent that the club has.
Yeah.
All they need is opportunities, and opportunities are there. They've just got to take it.
I mean, are these some of your boys? You recognize them?
Yes, Rifat, you know, we're very blessed to have Rifat in our midst. Been playing for collegiate since the age of 7. The same like Elias, Adams, playing since the age of a young age. I saw these guys grow up, very talented, and I think he's coming from a rugby family that was very talented. Yazid Manuel played for the Springboks under 19 in 1992, just unification. Under 19 he played with, I think, with Bob Skinstead at back in the time. So I think.
Well, it looks like you've got the talent coming through now, and it's nice to see Jerome Paardwater there as well, because I think obviously you want to make sure that even if you've got the talent, you want to see them come through the ranks. So we need the scouts out there. Folks, I was over at Elsie's Rafira over the weekend. Elsie's was playing against Masiphumelele. Sadly, the rain started coming down and we couldn't film, so we owe Elsie's and Massey's a game, but we'll talk about that a little bit later, because I'm sure you want to know about the scarp braai. Everybody wants to know about the scarp braai. We'll get into that a little bit later, folks. We'll take an ad break. When we come back, we'll start taking a look at the results in Super League A, and then we'll move through the rest. Back, everybody. Yes, of course, it is Cape Rugby TV. Remember, you can find us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV. And don't forget to check out our website, www.caperugby.tv. We talk about club rugby in Western Province. Let's take a look at the results in Super League A. Villagers, of course, played against UCT last week, Wednesday. It was a big win for UCT, 65-0. And, of course, Solarians over the weekend then going down to Durban, 19 points to 13, while SK Warmers went down to Hamilton's 41 points to 19. And St. George's losing to Villagers by just 1 point. Now, that's quite significant. If we turn our attention to this game, Ish, I'm going to ask you, Villagers on Wednesday, the previous week, they played against UCT. It was a Wednesday night game, 9 o'clock game. Of course, once again, those student games kicking off at 9 o'clock, and the club rugby guys going through there now. Villagers would have had their work cut out for them, and you can see by the scoreline, 65-0.
Having a chat to Ghana on Saturday morning, he just mentioned to me that they targeted the St. George's game specifically because they had a tough game. And 2 weeks in 1 week can be really tough. And St. George's was obviously the one for the taking for them, and it was an away win, which I'm sure Villagers will really cherish, and that win will come a long way, especially with the log so tight at the bottom.
Yeah, I was at that game on Wednesday night, and I was sitting with Sean Galant from Western Province, and we were chatting about the fact there were about 4 or 5 second team players playing for Villagers. So they had obviously planned that they needed to rest those vital guys to play against St. George's the weekend.
But now, well, that's the thing. So did Villagers take a bit of a
yes, they were. He was mentioning to me that he noticed some of the second team guys playing in that side.
Yeah.
So obviously they knew that they had to target the match against St. George's.
But it obviously worked for them, because I mean, if you look at that result there, St. George's
1 point.
1 point, isn't it?
Just about worked.
I mean, St. George's must be absolutely heartbroken if you think about some of the hidings that they've taken over the last. And I really feel for the guys at St. George's who made such an effort to get their ducks in a row. They brought in the sports scientists, and they brought the video analysis, and they brought the psychologists, and they brought in the eye specialists. I mean, I don't know how many more gurus and specialists they could have brought in, but they really, I mean, they got even Susan Ferreira, I think, who's like one of the world's top sports scientists, and I mean, she took the Paralympians to the Olympics to do so well. They were like the likes of Ilse Hayes and so forth at the Olympics, and so St. George's made a real effort, which is we wanted to see. We wanted to see clubs that were going to get promoted understand that it was going to be a new league, and they had to make the effort. St. George's made the effort, and it just didn't work for them so far.
I just think they've covered all bases. Just if you don't have the players and the quality of player depth going into Super A, you're going to fall short. And I think that they lost maybe 1 or 2 players to various other clubs in the process.
A couple of injuries.
I
know Farrell Souls also, he hurt his hand. He was a big star maker in the team.
Yeah, and one of the flankers, Dale, went to Tygerberg.
Yeah.
that's just one of the other players that left the club. So if you don't have the player quality and the depth, then you're going to struggle. You can have all the eye specialists you can get. It comes down to the players at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so but Villagers will be absolutely thrilled with their results. You know, they had to do the same thing. Also had to work hard to make sure. I mean, how do you feel about it?
Yes, I want to latch on what Ish is saying is that Super League A, if you don't have a big squad or if you don't have the quality players or the depth, then especially when it midweek games on a Wednesday and a Saturday, it takes out on the players.
Yeah, so, but a smart move then. I mean, you know, because you're playing on the Wednesday, you're going to have pop tires by the time you come to the weekend. Yeah. And yeah, so, you know, I suppose. Okay, let's move to the next game there. Then Solarians 13-19 over a loss to Durban. Durban, of course, coming off the loss to False Bay. They would have been happy with the fact that they maintained their, or at least bounced back, so to speak. But Solarians, again, they'd be a little bit, you know, they just came off the loss to Hamilton's. Yeah. So they'd be a little bit upset with that result.
Yeah, I think Durban will be a little bit upset because they never picked up a bonus point. And just by reading from the comments and the results of the game, I don't think Durban played really well. So Solarians obviously picked up a bonus point, so which is crucial coming to when it comes to the you know knockouts and the demotion and relegation. So that's important that they pick up bonus points wherever they can, whether they're playing home or away, especially if you're in the bottom part of the league. Picking up points is crucial in any game. Yeah,
and of course it was a good win for Hamilton's, 41-19 over SK Warmers at the track, and I believe there were a lot of spectators at the track there. All right, so nothing more to say about the SK Hamilton's game. Let's move into Super League B. Brackenfell 31-11 over Collegians. So we've got the Collegian connection here, so we're going to touch on that in a second. Kailsriver beating Young People's 48-36. Franschhoek United going down to Belleville 48-24. Hamlets beating Wraithby 13-11. Hands and Hearts going down to Violets 13-12. And Panel Villages beating Rangers 73 points to 11. Union Mill 46-13 over Macassar. All right, this is, I've got all three of you here. This is perfect. This is like going to be like the greatest conversation, quick and easy. So, I mean, you guys went down to Brackenfell, but Brackenfell is a good side this year. We watched them against Ranger. They've got fast backs, they've got big forwards. Tell us about the game.
Yes, I think, again, it was a Friday night game out at Brakke, but it was a lovely evening. Unfortunately, we couldn't pick up any points. But one positive thing that came out of the game is that we managed to outscrum Brackenfell on the evening. But rightly mentioned, two quick tries, you know, quick backs. I think for the wing.
You played on Friday night?
We played on Friday night.
Did they move the fixture?
No, it was originally...
Was it originally scheduled for?
No, it was a Saturday fixture. But because of the Stormers were playing on Saturday, okay. They said we had to play on the Friday.
So you got a good back up front, a good scrum?
Yes, I think that is one of the positives that came out of the game. Right. We actually outscrummed Brackenfell. But again, you know, Super League B, it's one of the funny leagues.
It is a funny league, yeah.
So it was like a yo-yo league, you can expect anything.
Well, I'll tell you something. I know who's going to be looking out for you on Saturday. Because I know that let's look here, Hands and Hearts, 13-12, Rios, that's 1 point. That's one point.
That was a good away win for us, though.
Yeah.
We've travelled now. We've played 4 away games. We won 2 of it. We targeted, well, any win away is good in this league. So Hands and Hearts is a very good, they're a well-drilled team. It could have gone either way on the day.
But now you've got home ground advantage this weekend against Collegians, playing at Chaka Road as well. Do you think that the Violet scrum can handle the Collegian scrum?
Yeah, I'm sure we can. I'm pretty confident up front that we can hold our own.
That's the scrum that beat the Brackenfell scrum.
Yeah, but I was at the game Friday night, and I'm sure we can beat Brackenfell scrum as well. So
would you say Collegians is the underdog on Saturday?
I would say so. Yeah, going on current form.
I mean,
going on current form.
JP, I can just it's just a normal game. You know, we just go into it. It's just another day in the park. Maybe they've got a better team on paper, but it's our 15 guys on the park.
A derby can go either way. These games can go either way. You can see with St George's, Helderberg home ground advantage. They lost to St George's. It can go either way in this league.
Are you expecting a lot of people on Saturday?
We are expecting a lot of people. Derby. Normally, it's whenever we play against Collegians, which we did last year as well. In a friendly, we had a day of rugby with Collegians.
I remember. I think we were there.
You guys were there. You couldn't get out of the parking. Yeah, you couldn't get out of the parking. So, yeah, we expect a lot of people on Saturday.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
But the good thing about Saturday also, we will be there since 3 in the morning because our high schools are also playing.
The kids playing?
Yeah.
Yes, the high schools.
All right. What time is that?
We will start most probably from 9.
Yeah, we've got 2 fields there, so we're able to.
So from under 14 up till under 19, under 20. So
I think the last time you did it, you started about 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, unfortunately, we tried to get the primary school fixture on the same day as well, but because the primary school fixtures came out so late, we couldn't change it in time. So
Ish, Macassar is not a side to be taken lightly, but you managed to come away with a big win there, 46-13.
Yeah, and I think the focus should be on these two teams.
Yeah, he's deflecting.
Well, I suppose it's the fact that you had home ground advantage.
Yeah, we've had two, 3 home games now, so
Yeah.
we kind of had the rubber the green with regards to home field advantage.
Yeah.
We will be tested over the next couple of weeks. We'll be playing Pinyal and Violets away, so that will test us definitely.
When do we break for Ramadan? What's the date?
3 weeks time.
3 weeks time.
Yeah.
Are you taking time off during that time?
Definitely.
So the club will break for Ramadan?
Yes.
You guys, of course, going to break as well.
Yeah.
So, and then, of course, we've got the students also going to be taking a breather. So there's going to be quite a long break coming up now.
There's no rugby.
There's no rugby.
There'll be a mid-season competition. Voluntary, depending on which clubs.
Competition.
Well, the clubs that want to enter to play during that time. Yeah. There has been some clubs that have said already.
You can't stop rugby.
No, you can't.
Just carry on.
And for your fitness and continuity in the squads as well, it's important.
The other good win was, of course, Kelsriver beating Young Peoples. And Caper Albertine, who's the coach at Young Peoples, went to say that it was a crazy game of rugby. They were comfortably ahead, but Young Peoples came back at them at the end. And that had Caper Albertine rather worried at Kelsriver. He said that their teamwork was lacking, but the individual brilliance is what pulled them through in the end. And then comments from Gunnar Hughes, the coach, of course, at Villagers. He went on to say that it was a tough game out at Gastro, and St. George's looked after them on and off the field. It was a hell of a game, and that they were lucky to get the last-minute penalty to win. Thanks to St. George's for their hospitality. Yeah, absolutely, always. St. George's is a fantastic place to go to. Great hospitality, and that's exactly where you want to go now. Of course, we were out at LCS Rafir. Hospitality, unbeatable, as always. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's look at the results in Super League C. Kraaifontein 22-12 over Blue Jets. Elsies going down to Masipule Lele at 10-0. Alanga losing to Strand 20-0. Noordlikers 23-31 loss for them against Strand United. Paul 23-20 over Scottsdene. Gerald Brock very happy with that result. Couldn't stop getting text messages. Thanks, Gerald. Always appreciate those updates, and we will be getting out to Scottsdene at some stage. 25-9 for Goodwood over Silvertree. And then, of course, Young Stars going 5 points up over Stellenbosch Coronations. I think Stelcor will be a little bit unhappy with that result, but Young Stars, of course, no team to be taking too lightly either. We'll take an ad break. When we come back, we will take a look at the rest of the results in the 7th round of Western Province Club Rugby. Welcome back, everybody. It's, of course, Cape Rugby TV. It's Wednesday night, and my guest with me tonight is, of course, Marius Khan from Vilas, Amin Brink from Collegians, and Ishmael Dolly from Milnerton. But, of course, tonight we represent all Western Province Club Rugby, and I'm JP Nundia, you're a host or something like that, depending on what you want to call me. Some people call me... some people can call me whatever they want to, but I just don't come. Anyway, all right, let's quickly look at the results in the City League there. MIT Rangers going down to Tech, 26-10. Perseverance losing the Busy Bees, 45 points to 7. And Progress going down to Hamadias, 35-15, or at least 34-15. And then Young Ideas, a good win for them over Temperance, 24 points to 7. And or at least 17. And then in the Southern League, it was Bishop Lavers going down to Thistles. A good win for Thistles in 2016. Yes, to Rafir, 20-0 over Richmond Rangers. In fact, I'm not sure if that game took place. Rocklands, 24-33 loss for them against Laguna. Titans drawing with Retreat. That was a close game. Anthony Elmerson will be exceptionally happy with that result. And then, of course, Young Ideas losing to Peninsula, 19 points to 10. While in the Northern League, All Saints, 41-8 over Imikawi. Atlantis, 25-27 loss for them. Blue Stars beating Blakes at Delft, going down to Kailicha and Strand Pioneers, going down to Whistling Wells. While in the Par League, Young Gardens going down to Lower Paarl. Paarl Rangers losing to Simondium. Parel United losing to Albions. Young Standards beating Riverstones. And then, of course, Vineyards, a good win for them, 53-0 over Windmill United, while Allendale beat Violets Paarl. All right, folks, those are, of course, your results in Super League A, B, and C, and, of course, the various divisions, including the Paarl League. Now, as I mentioned, we were out over the weekend but at LC's. But first, let me just touch on some of the comments from the coaches at in the leagues. at Langa, the head coach there, Wandisile Mjokwana, went on to say, this of course after they went and lost to Strand. They said that they thought that they were outplayed Strand in the first half and they hit back in the second, capitalized on their mistakes, but the deserved win went well for the Strand guys. And then in Alfred Kiwana, of course the coach and PR at Busy Bees, they of course beat Perseverance over the weekend, 45 points to 7. And Alfred said that this was a great result for the boys. They got a bonus point win, which keeps them in the hunt for promotion. And of course, they did their homework on Perseverance, and the game plan worked on the day. So it looks like Alfred and the guys got things worked out there at Busy Bees. And then, of course, Anthony Alberson, as I mentioned earlier on, they drew with Retreat. It was a fantastic game of rugby played in the right spirit. And they lost a lot of team players due to injury, but the youngsters are putting their hands up, and their squad depth this year, very impressive. So a good draw for Retreat.
Yo, give the man some water.
Stay on him. Are you okay?
Yeah, are you okay?
Are you guys okay?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Folks, clearly Ishmael Dolly's falling off his chair there. It was a good draw for Retreat then. Are you worried about my voice?
No, you're fine. You're good. You're good.
I put I mean, sometimes when you're in radio, you just have to keep going. Am I right?
Yes, you're cool. You're cool.
You just hang on there. It's like voice tricks. We have voice tricks. So you keep breathing through it. Yeah.
No, I'm back. I'm back.
I thought you were going to fall off your chair there.
I was lost there for
all right. No, we're all good. We're all good. Ah, there we go. Thank you very much. We've got some water here.
Some water.
Cool.
Right. Okay. Just getting back to the yesterday Richmond Rangers game. I know that game was called off. While Richmond Rangers, I don't think rocked up.
Yeah.
And I saw it on Pedro April's comments on Facebook. Was just saying everything was set up. The day was set up. Guys trained throughout the week, and just the club just didn't pitch up.
Yeah.
Which was
that's hard luck.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, you've got to come bring it on the on the day. If you don't rock up, then you know. Also, Whistling Wheels coaches there, Yanni Besaidenote went on to say there was this was of course after Whistling Wheels beat Strand Pioneers, and he said it was tough travelling to Strand. They gave them a tough game, and they stuck to their game plan and pulled it through in the end, and that they were very proud of the guys. So nice comments there from Coach Yanni Besaidenote, who's of course the coach at Whistling Wheels. And then Allendale beat Violet's Paarl. And David Cock, who's the coach there, went on to say that the game went well, their forwards were immense, and they set the platform for them, as well as their set pieces, especially the scrums that worked so well. Okay, so I mentioned, we quite often talk about clubs and fun and games at the clubs, and I mentioned, first I'm going to show you, now everybody wants to know about the spit price, and we're going to show you a photograph in a second of the spit price. I'm going to ask my guys to just hang on there. Now, Riaz, I saw some comments from you that you were looking for a transfer.
Yeah. Well, after I saw the pics that Anselin put on the brilliant spit by Elsie's, I said, look here, where can I put my clearance in for Violets? And I was looking for forms to join Elsie's. No, it looked brilliant there on the
Let's
day.
have a quick look at the sheep. People often ask about the scarp. Yeah, we'll see it on the screen there. The scarp. Look at that, guys. Ish, what do you think of that?
Wow, I'll put halal.
Let's get it off the screen. Here we go. I'm sure.
That is, I know they cater like that.
What? Is it? It's halal?
Yeah.
No, right.
Anselin belongs to a company that does that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So of course things were taken care. But the beautiful thing, and I wasn't going to share this with, but I'm going to show you guys anyway. But the thing about Elsie's is how they get behind Cape Rugby TV, and they get behind the activity to make it a game on the day. Of course, the advantage didn't go to Elsie's on the day because. I think just even player 23 wasn't enough. Have you guys met player 23?
Well, we'll meet him now.
Well, have a look. We'll show you player 23 here now. There's player 23. And then there was another player 23 as well, of course, there. And then notice his legs, though. He's clearly got a good tan. And then, of course, we had another player 23 as well. There we go. Kijk by bearded ass over here. All right, so, folks, I just have to give massive credit to Alice Michaels, who always comes out and has so much fun. I don't know where she finds these photographs, these ideas, but I mean, guys, really, like, there's so much embracing between everybody. And Massey came out there. Remember, this is Massey's first time that they played at LCC. And they had also just like such an eye-opener, such a great club, such a jewel. I mean, this is what it's all about.
Yes, I think hats off to Anselin. You know, he's a great entertainer. Whenever you go to LCC, even we've got our annual friendly fixture against Elsies, and we love WKT.
It's a joy.
Just a great bunch of guys.
And we hung around afterwards. I think I left there about 8 o'clock. I still had to get to Newlands and stuck around there speaking to Michael Adonis and Anslin and Grant Albertine.
Grant from
and of course,
Caleb.
John van Dijk was there,
Yeah.
you know, who's suffering with motor neuron disease at the moment. And I must say he's looking strong. And John, if you're watching, you and the family, I can see you've got great support in the supporters at Elsie's. And we know that all that deep tissue massage that we were talking about and you were telling us about on the side of the field, all helping. So everybody in Western Province Rugby is rooting for you, John, and especially you know, I think you're in good hands with the fact you've got all those Elsie's supporters around the field there. But it was a great day as always, and yes, we do owe you a game and we owe Marcia a game. And just a quick heads up, folks, this is the new Elsie's Raffier jersey. Of course, this is Freightmore Road and Air Specialists, the Elsie's Raffier jersey. So it's now up and is, of course, officially here. Now all we need to do is get ourselves a Collegians jersey, and then we'll be made.
Yes, I think I got one here for you, JP. From our president, Mr. Kasim Smith.
Mr. Kasim Smith, there we go, folks.
He said he must take good care of this jersey.
Okay, well, folks, now we're complete. We've got an Altius Collegians jersey. This is, of course, your primary sponsor, Altius?
Yes.
And they've been with you guys for a long time now.
It's about almost 7 years.
7 years. What does Altius do?
Altius is an investment company, same with Cape Market.
Okay.
Belonging to one group. Fantastic guy, Dr. Anwar Nagia.
And there we see it.
Dr. Anwar Nagia is
Anwar
true.
Nagia, but he's a famous name.
Yeah, so...
this is Cape Town Market, yeah.
And he supported us for the last 7 years.
All right, so we're looking forward to putting the Collegians jersey up. Beautiful jersey.
Looks like a
it's
French
iconic jersey, eh?
So that's a special gift, eh? That's a special gift.
Woo.
Special gift of Mr. Kasim Smith.
All right, this will be one for the books, eh? Now you've got player 23, of course, who's playing at Elsie's. Apparently I've put on the jersey for Northerns as well.
So you're going to be putting that jersey on Saturday?
Okay, let's have a look. Do I look like from the coal? Can I put it uit? Can I?
Let's get a tan spray, a tanning spray.
There we go, all right. I mean, thank you very much. We look forward to putting your jersey up, and of course we rotate the jerseys and giving publicity to RTS Collegian. So world class. We'll keep that over here. And we're looking forward to talking about Cole. Of course, this weekend it's going to be the big ones. Collegians up against Violets at Chaka Road. Make sure you get down there. It's going to be great fun. It's definitely a must. Let's quickly look at the logs now. We'll take a look at the top and the bottom of the logs in Super League A first. Top there, of course, Stellenbosch, UCT, and Hammies, and False Bay, and Tygerberg. Those make up your top 6 in Super League A. Primrose, St. George's, and Helderberg are struggling at the bottom 3. In Super League B, it's Kales over NNK, Union Mill, Hamlets, Belleville, Brackenfell are your top 6. While at the bottom, it's Collegians, Franschhoek United, Wraithby. They make up your bottom 3. In Super League C, Kraaifontein, Goodwood, Elsie's, and Strand United, and Scottsdene bring your top 6 into the picture in Super League C. While at the bottom 3, it's Silvertree, Stelkop, and Noordlikers. And then in the City League, Hamadeers, Busy Bees, MIT Rangers keep continuing doing well. Caledonian Roses, Gardens Tech, and Young Ideas. Young Ideas, of course, are 19 points in 6th place. And while in the bottom 3 are Western Zebras, Temperance, and Perseverance. Perseverance struggling to get some points on the board. In the Southern League, it's Eerste Rivier, Rocklands Peninsula, and Young Brothers are your top 4. Eerste Rivier sitting well in the lead. There are 29 points in the log after 7 matches, and they won 6 and only lost 1. While in the bottom there, it's Bishop Lavers and Richmond Rangers, and Ish, as you said, Rangers didn't bring it on the day.
Yeah, and I'm sure Western Province will look into that.
All right. Of course, you've got to be able to field all your players. There we go. Northern League then, Van der Stel have had a fantastic season. And there you can see they've reaped the rewards. And now Van der Stel, who was struggling for quite a couple of seasons, have really managed to bounce back. 6 out of 6, 30 points. They're sitting on the top log in the Northern League. Carlamore Blue Stars, Blaketon, Atlantis, and All Saints are your top 6 in the Northern League. While in the Par League, Vineyards, Lower Paarl, Allendale, Somalium are your top 4. And at the bottom, it's Albions, Windmill United, and Peril United. Let's take a look now at your fixtures coming up this Friday night. It's Belha up against Durban at Accordion Park. False Bay take on Villages, Hamilton, St. George's, Hamilton's with a home ground advantage. And then on Saturday, it's Primrose and Salonians. SK take on Tygerberg. So let's quickly look at some of those fixtures in Super League A. Belha-ish, Durban. It's going to be a humdinger at Accordion Park. Of course, Belha's got home ground advantage. It's a Friday night game. Durban's going to have their work cut out for them.
I think Durban will take that one. For the simple fact is, Durban haven't been playing good rugby for the past couple of weeks, but with the quality that they have in their side, I think they're ready to bounce back.
False Bay Villages. False Bay's got home ground. It's Friday night. Villages.
False Bay all the way.
False Bay all the way.
By quite a substantial margin.
You think so? You're convinced? I mean, of course, Villages did beat St George's.
Villages also lost.
You're laughing. Look at you. You've got a big Chester Cat smile there.
Now, just to on the Falls Bay, I think it's gonna.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a cracker on Friday, but Falls Bay is gonna take that one.
Yeah, Falls Bay is on.
And just another interesting stat. The coach, Jono van der Westhuizen, you know, he coached
at Falls Bay.
He coached collegians under 10 and under 11 a couple of years ago when they were still playing fly with Villages.
That's fascinating.
And there's a certain scrum off that's playing at Falls Bay now that this gentleman knows quite well, isn't it?
Yes, sir, is my son.
This is your son. He's playing at Falls Bay, yeah. All right, let's leave it at that then. We're moving swiftly along to the other games. Primrose up against Silurians. Primrose are battling a little bit-ish. Silurians are going to be Silurians are kind of, you can see they're getting into a corner. They must be getting hungry.
I think that's going to be a very tight one. I can't call that one. So it's going to be really, really tight. Both teams are desperate for a win. Depends on the day.
Of course, SK Warmers, they've come off the loss to Hamilton's. I mean, what do you make of that one? They're playing against Tiger.
Well, you know, Tiger coming to Greenpoint track is never easy. So I think SK is on the up. The couple of games they played, except now last week they went down to Amis. But I think this is going to be, can go either way, but I think Kloof will come up at Greenpoint track.
50-50 call, yeah.
Yeah, I think I will put my SK down.
All right, folks, we're going to take an ad break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the fixtures in Super League B, and I'd like to bring Riaz kind of the picture as he gives us his expertise as we talk about the other teams in Super League B. Back in a sec. Welcome back, everybody. Yes, it is, of course, Cape Rugby TV, and something I completely forgotten. I should have introduced him as such. I'm thinking so much Cape Rugby, and Club Rugby, and collegians and everything like that. I mean, you're of course on Sports Desk at 786. We never talk about it. I mean, you've been doing it for a long time as well.
Yes, it's been over 5 years, and my co-host is now Shamila Suleiman, who also serves on collegians, and she also serves on the transformation committee at Western Province.
Yes, yeah, I know. She's a formidable lady.
Yes, so we cover all sports, not just rugby, but no, rugby is our main forte, but
so people can tune in at 786 on a Friday night?
On a Friday from 9, between 9 and 10:30 on 100.4 FM. 100.4
FM. FM. All right, so that's on 786 every Friday night from 9 to 10:30. Catch Shamila and Armin on Sports Desk. Lots of fantastic rugby and other sports stories, of course, on a Friday night, and it's actually fascinating. I love listening to you guys when I'm driving. If I'm out and I want to just listen to a bit of sports talk, because there's some other real rubbish out there. I can listen to, and it's local, so I can.
We focus on our local talent because you know, the mainstream media never. They hardly write about our youth that achieve, you know, the medals, the gold medals. Yeah, we talk about sport like karate.
I've kind of written those oaks off already.
You know,
it's the same old story. This guy, national, going on the international tour, winning the gold medal. It's the same thing I heard last week. Some other oak also won the gold medal, won an international tour. Yeah, I mean, we love our South African sport, but it's lekker. Local is kind of, yeah, it makes sense. Local is lekker, I suppose, is where it come from. All right, let's look at the fixtures now in Super League B over the weekend. Counts over Franschhoek, Macassar, Brackenfell, Hands and Hearts, Penel Villages, Rangers and Wraithby, Violets, Collegians, Young Peoples and NNK. Riaz, any derbies that stick out for you there in Super League B?
Important match there, Violets, Collegians, definitely. Hands and Hearts, Penel Villages, that's going to be a great game as well. Kuils River, I look at them to edge out Franschhoek probably. Macassar, Brackenfell, it's going to be a tough one for Brackenfell to travel all the way to Macassar, and that's going to be a tight game, too tight to call. But Hands and Hearts, Penel Villages, that's a very interesting game as far as the log is concerned, as well as the rugby that's going to be displayed on the day. Both teams, excellent running teams, so it's going to be an amazing game to watch that.
All right, in Super League C, we see Goodwood up against Silverleaf, Kraaifontein Noordlikers, Blue Jets and Mazi, Lunga LCs, Scottsdene Strand, Silvertree and Stelkor Strand are up against Paul, of course. That's Scottsdene up against Strand United. In the City League, it's Busy Bees Young Ideas, Caledonia Roses Progress, Hamadias Police, Tech and Perseverance, Temperance and Watsonians, Zebras up against MIT Rangers in the Southern League, Lacuna Titans, Peninsula Treat, Richmond Rangers, Young Wesley, Thistle Rocklands, Young Brothers, and Eerste Rivier. And then, of course, the Northern League, All Saints, or Blue Stars, Atlantis Van der Stel, Delft, and Strand Pioneers in Mikawi, Whistling Wheels, and then Cullimore take on Blakes. And then on Saturday, Sparrow United up against Lower Paarl, and Vineyards are up against Albions. Those are, of course, your club rugby fixtures over the weekend. Let's take a look at Super Brew, top 10 there, and we've got the usual convicts, so to speak. Mansell is still at number top in the first place on Super Brew's Cape Rugby TV Super Brew pool. Lukey Boy, Gerard, Rocky, Tony George, Varding Bat, Mr. C, Elkadag, Andrew Wade Smith, and Eddie Titus. Those are your top 10 in the Cape Rugby TV Super Brew pool. Super 15 over the weekend. The Stormers are up against the Cheetahs, but the results over the weekend then is a good win for the Stormers, 31-15 over the Rebels. The Cheetahs going down to the Lions, the Force going down to the Highlanders. Waratahs beating the Crusaders 32-22. The Blues are losing the Hurricanes. The Reds 21-14 loss for them against the Sharks. Sharks bouncing back. And the Chiefs beating the Bulls 34 points to 20 as expected. Super 15 fixtures coming up this weekend. It's the Crusaders and the Hurricanes, the Brumbies, the Bulls, the Sharks, the Rebels, the Highlanders, the Chiefs, the Force, the Reds, the Lions and the Waratahs, and of course at 5 o'clock, your primary match at Newlands. It's the Stormers up against the Cheetahs. You want to make sure that you get down to Newlands. Kickoff is at 5 o'clock against the Cheetahs. It's going to be a cracker of a game. Of course, the Cheetahs are going to be licking their wounds a little bit after getting mauled by the bigger cat, the Lions. What did you expect? There's a lion against a cheetah. A cheetah might be faster, but the lion is always going to come out on top. All right, folks, so it's derby time this weekend. A kickoff is at what time, I'm in?
I think it's
3:30 kickoff because of course the Stormers are playing at 5 o'clock, so you're going to have about 7.5 minutes to do from the game. Okay. But I expect that you guys will be sticking around at Chaka Road.
Yes, definitely. So you know, we're just taking this game as another league game.
Yeah.
But I think any derby game is you can expect anything.
It's going to be
a close.
Match.
It's going to be. It's going to be close. It's going to be close.
There's going to be Boerewors stands out there. I know you've always got the gazebo up selling like kossies.
Yeah, everything. Salomis. There's going to be everything on sale on the day. We're going to be there from early in the morning already. So whatever you desire on a Saturday, you're going to have it at our field on Saturday.
Folks, and just I must say a big thank you to our sponsors, and of course CTC. You can see CD Sports behind me here. CD Sports, the official supplier to Cape Rugby TV, and the maker of rugby jerseys in Western Province and Western Cape. You want to get rugby jerseys, CTC Sports is your place to go to. They'll also do your tracksuits, they'll do your socks, they'll do your shorts, they'll do your caps. They'll do everything that you can do at rock bottom prices and good quality. Matfin Money Matters are there, of course, to make sure that you consolidate your debt. If you're in financial difficulties, make sure that you get hold of Matfin. Look out for the Matfin advert and to make sure that you go to talk to Matfin if you're struggling with your finances. And don't forget, of course, Belleville Glass out in Belleville are, of course, they're one of the leading glass installation companies for auto glass and commercial glass in Cape Town. So if you're looking for glass, anyone to sort out your glass matters, whether it be fixtures or auto glass, Belleville Glass, Great Smith and the guys, and Ashraf, those your one-stop shop for all glass. And of course, don't forget, Evox Advanced Nutrition is the official sports supplier to Western Province, sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers. All your sports nutrition supplements, remember club rugby players, get it at factory prices, sponsored rate for all club rugby players. Now's your time that you need to be stacking up on your sports nutrition, because it is, of course, a long break, which is recover, put a little more muscle. You had that chance in the off-season. It's like you've got a little mini off-season now again. Club rugby players, now is when you need to start getting the protein back into the body. Otherwise, come the league back on, and you're going to be lighter than ever before. So make sure you eat enough, get a lot of protein in, use the before, during, and after a match recovery and practice supplements. Ishmael Dolly, you got a bye this weekend?
Yes, we do. Our game is postponed due to the Stormers game as well as load shedding schedule.
Aha, okay. Your game was a night game?
Yes, so we're moving it to the 11th of July
because
now.
it was a Friday game.
That's correct.
A lot of people will be thinking, but you don't need light on a Saturday afternoon. Well, I can't really wish you luck for anything, can I?
No.
All right. Well, have a good weekend.
Travel safely.
Come to Chaka Road.
All roads lead to Chaka Road.
I know, all roads lead to Chaka Road. Riaz, good luck for the weekend. You're going to have your work cut out for you.
Thank you. Don't be arrogant and say we don't need it, but yeah, thank you.
Like you said, you're not that serious.
Sorry?
You're not the underdogs though.
Well, yeah, it's like you said, like Mr. Armin said, it's a derby, so...
Yeah, it's a derby. I mean, thank you very much for joining us. It's been a pleasure having you. It's long overdue, and it's lekker, and we'll see you on Saturday.
No, thanks JP, thanks for the opportunity. And just to our loyal supporters, I think our players owe it to our loyal supporters that follow us week in and week out. So we're going to do it for our supporters this week.
100%. It's going to be a derby match, a cracker match, the derby match, folks. Of course, Violet's up against the Collegians at Chaka Road, and it's always a big festive occasion. Make sure you get there early. There's youth rugby that starts early in the day, so you can get there, park, and there's lots of food and snacks. And then, of course, kick off the main game at 3:30. And then after that, late a little bit, you can go down to Newlands and go and enjoy the Stormers beating the Cheetahs. That's a wrap from me on Cape Rugby TV. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Have a fantastic rugby weekend. Bye-bye.